Chinese artichoke makes tubers like but runs like a squash. So that's one that does well. It definitely makes food. I can't show you any tubers just yet, unfortunately. It's done well for us for many years, but the problem is that the Jerusalem artichokes want to be picked more like every 2 years instead of every year, and the other two need to be picked annually. So it's not perfect. So we're trying 2 other variations. We're trying, so this one is Jerusalem artichoke with hog peanut. And hog peanut is a native wild peanut, essentially. It's a bean that makes underground beans, excuse me, and I might be able to find one for you here. It won't look like anything at all. It looks like dirt, right? This is a hog peanut bean, but when you peel back the cover, this one's white. Some of them have beautiful purple stripes on them. And these are good eating, but are you ever gonna, you're not. You're mostly not, I'm gonna tell you. But it makes a great ground cover because it fixes nitrogen like the beans and it spreads like a squash. So it fills both the bean and squash role. It loves shade, it fixes nitrogen, it's native, and it fills in the area extremely well under the sunchoke, so there's no weed opportunities under there. So I think this as a polyculture works the best. It may not make quite as much food. And our hope is that when you're digging for sunchokes, you'll be able to get these.
What do you eat on the Jerusalem artichoke?
The tubers.
It's a tuber.
Yeah, it's a very productive tuber. Very, very productive. Excessively productive. Well, we like to, there's a lot of ways to cook them. You can't quite treat them like potatoes because they get a little soft, like if you fry them sometimes, but they make nice latkes. And I like to make a quick pickle with them. I cut them kind of thin, and I use Chinese artichoke tubers in there as well, and then I'll shred some ginger and use umeboshi vinegar or like a raspberry vinegar, and maybe a little tamari in there, and they're outstanding that way, really nice. They make great pickles, as a roasted root vegetable, I feel like you got to get them just right or they get too soft.
My aunt used to roast them and then make dips out of them because there's so much from them.
It's great in with mashed potatoes. I think I had some you roasted that came out really well.
That's an incredible soup.
Yeah. Oh, soup. Yeah. Great in soups. They're good raw too. And here's the trick for eating them raw. They're much sweeter in the spring. So in the fall they're okay, but a lot of their starch is in a form called inulin, which we don't digest terribly well. It can give you gas, although it helps your body take up more calcium. It's a superfood. But in the spring, when they're dormant still, when they haven't started to sprout yet, they've converted all their starch into sugar and they get much sweeter, and you can just eat them like an apple at that point. So my favorite time to eat them is in the spring when they're still sleeping, just after the ground thaws. Then their flavor is at the peak. So a lot of it is about learning when is the right time to get these things. When is the perfect time to get them? And those are very good. The hog peanuts are very good. We could forage for those a little bit later if you guys want to try some over lunch.